One thing I could say, I am proud to be foundation Black American because I wouldn't want to be anything else. When you look at all these other countries, they try to use us as an scapegoat. They want to push us to Africa, but none of them want to live in Africa. When you look at them and you talk to them, notice where they are. They are in America. None of them want to go home because they can't become successful in their own home because they're cowards. They don't fight for anything. They capitulate to what the white Europeans tell them to do. It's so sad because they're afraid to stand up to the supremacy that has overwhelmed and taken over their lives. There are traffickers in their country and they don't want to talk about it. They're too busy paying attention to us. You need to redirect your anger at the people who colonize your country. Jamaicans can't even go to their own beaches in Jamaica, and they had a hurricane, but they're worrying about us, not trying to get funds to save their own brothers. They worrying about us because a woman complained. And the sad thing is, she's not even from America. She's from Bermuda. But there's no apology because this is the way their people feel, and they're not going to change. They're demons at heart. Look at their energy and where it is focused at. We didn't cause a hurricane in Jamaica. We don't cause the problems in Africa. It's the colonizing Europeans that brought all the destruction to you guys. But look at us and understand this. We fought for our freedom in America. We demanded it. You only can become free by demanding it. You can't compromise, capitulate, or comply. Because you're a coward. All the C words belong together because you are one big family. Cowards, compromise, capitulators, and compliers that got you absolutely nothing but destruction in your own lands. And you want to move over here because we fought, but then you hide behind the Europeans and take their talking points and try to make us become you. We are not cowards. We know how to fight. When we fight, you tell us we should forget about racism. You forgot, and look what happened to your homeland. You can't go to the beach. The Chinese own Africa. The Asians own Africa. And still the Europeans have compounds where you can't even go. And you can't even go to the beach on vacation because the Europeans don't want you there. And this is supposed to be your land that you're proud of, and you don't even live in. So what does that say about you? Because actions speak louder than words. And in America, we're verbs, people of actions. We get stuff done. In your country, you're not an action. You're far from a verb. You're a herb, and a herb is a wimp in American slang because you don't fight. You capitulate, compromise because you're a coward and you comply. All the nature of a complier. But you want us to be like you, docile, moronic, tribal morons who can't get out of your own way. That's why you haven't achieved anything in your land. 400 years ago, we were slaves, but now we're the number one Black people in the world, and you pay attention to us. If you're outside of the U.S. and you come at me for stating the truth, you're a tether by nature. You're supposed to join us, but you side with the people that oppress your country, do everything to your women and you still smile with them and mad at us because we have gotten gains and have gotten the farthest since slavery, and you were supposedly free. But I'll tell you the truth. You were colonized, another prettier word than slavery that they use on your moronic minds, and you believe it. You guys are the dumbest people. We've been getting degrees, so you can't hold that in our face. We go to college. There's only 100,000 gang members in the total population of America. There's over something like 1 billion people in Africa, and let's count the uneducated people. You're only 48,000 in college to our millions. So how are you winning? Because 1 or 2 of you came over here and got a good job, but most of you guys are taxi drivers in America and are uneducated, and you are the most uneducated in Jamaica and in Africa and in Haiti. But everybody wants to point at the American as being a degenerate because we make music. But that same music made us millionaires and far from you guys. But it's not about millionaire status. It's about accomplishments, something you guys don't know how to do because you don't know how to band together. There's only 100,000 gang members. That's why I can go from Chicago, Massachusetts, to Mississippi, to Alabama without any problems. You guys can't even walk across a border that's really a street to locate your own brothers that you fight against because you're tribal idiots and you believe what these people say. And stop talking about African booty scratcher. That is a word that we were called, and most of us aren't even Africa. We're indigenous to America, but you guys don't read and claim you're educated. It's so sad. The Egyptians took over, well, not even the Egyptians, the Mediterranean people took over Africa and got you guys thinking they're the Egyptians because you're so docile and silly and don't learn and are afraid to learn the truth because it would make you confront the Europeans that colonized your land. You guys are cowards at heart. And it's so sad. There's 1 billion of you and you guys can't get right because you fight against each other because what you were taught. Now you're fighting against us. And I'm sad and mad and furious at our parents for fighting for you people to come over here. Civil rights for us. Now you come over here and side with the very oppressors that own your land and keep you out of there. That's why you want to be in America, because it's freedom over here and not in Africa, Jamaica, or Haiti, or any other nation that look down their nose at us. And we know why, because people hate success. And yes, we're your successors. You supposedly sold us, and we have gotten farther than you guys. And you guys had a 400-year head start in the country that you own. But your leaders are corrupt and let European people come over and do as they please with you guys while they get rich and you live in squalor. So can you guys leave us alone and go back to your home nations and fix it up like we did? But you can't, because you don't have the ingenuity to do it or the fortitude, because you're a nation of cowards.